Hello everyone. Rather than just doing a simple code showcase, I actually want to show you guys just, the process of making this code that I created today, these actual code lists. And I thought I'd do a quick explanation and also just explain how to use it. Now, the code I've created today is for Super Mario Bros. 1, and it's basically after hard mode, it replaces all enemies with a selected enemy you want to replace. So to demonstrate this, let's go ahead and I'll show you what I've done. You may have saw that Mario designed to probably wondering, basically how this is working and show you it off right now. So let me just reset the game and just explain what these codes on the side do. So you may notice that I have a split screen of codes right here. So let's go ahead and explain what each of them do. So right here we have this one right here. This is a RAM address for primary hard mode. Primary hard mode is basically a flag that basically checks to see if you've beaten the game, but it also checks originally if world select is enabled. But in this case, I've enabled the flag without world select, just to showcase this, since I don't really feel like beating the game to show you. But this is just a simple code I created. It did take me some time to create, so this is mainly this primary hard mode. This is mainly for me to either toggle it on and off or just simply just get into primary hard mode. So let's focus on the second code. This code is LONKTPTA. And it says, it's cut off here, but I can read it to you. It says, and it's enemy with replacement enemy dummy data. So basically what this is doing is it's replacing the Goomba with a dummy object that has no points. So like an unused or something like that. There's a lot of enemies that crash the game, and I believe there's like maybe a few that are unused. But this basically does that, and I'll show you exactly why I chose this route. Focusing on to the next code, which is ENNKYPEI, and this says inverts branch. So what this is doing is I'm basically inverting the branch from BNE to BEQ. So instead of branching when it's not equal, it's going to branch when it is equal, which is basically my method of making this code. And that's why this is here also, because whenever it's initializing the enemy, instead of actually looking for that object that is just a dummy object, it's actually going to look for all of them according to this branch, which is very useful. You don't have to do it for multiple enemies. You can just use just a switch to do that. So let's look at this one. Now, this one I don't really know too much about. All I know is that basically, uh, as a second part, I was having issues with this compare. I believe this 37. Actually, no, I can explain this. So, this right here, in the disassembly, it basically is looking for a specific value, but it's only going to look for 37 and under. So I went ahead and applied it to 3C just to extend it. And the reason why I did that was because I was having issues with Buzzy Beetles still appearing even though the replacement enemy is set. And my basic explanation to the fix is basically instead of the 37, which I believe is like 2 Goombas or something and below, I just went ahead and extended it, and it went ahead and fixed it, which was very useful. Finally, let's talk about the final and most important code in this list. This basically it uses the enemy ID. So if you want to put in your own enemy ID, you could modify this value here. Now, of course, you can do C207 and then that question mark. And actually, by the way, this exact code here, I can read it off to you, and I can just go ahead and paste it in just to show you. I'm just showing you that you can use this address, but let me just go ahead and paste it. It is LAEGYZZA. So, basically, what we have here is this code is like the one that you're going to actually modify to change the enemy, which is really cool. So again, I'm going to read off these codes: LONKTPTA, ENNKYPEI, GUNGTPYU, and then I didn't update it, but I can just read it off again, or shall I just paste it? It is LAEGYZZA. And just to demonstrate this code, this is for the Koopa Troopa one, but if I wanted to change it, I could actually, let me just disable this code, and let me go into the encoder and decoder, and all you have to do is just modify the value, not the compare, modify the value. You could get rid of the compare, but I like to use compare so it doesn't do anything else. So as you can see, without that code, now we're getting Buzzy Beetles. But now, let's see. I'm gonna look off of the data crystal reference. There's a very good page that I will link in the description to show you. It is in the address 0016. And let's go ahead and look for another enemy I want to replace it with. So how about just for fun, we will replace it with, let's do a, how about we do a blooper. So blooper is 7. So I'm going to change the value to 7, and I just add it to the list, and as you can see, it's added here. So there's that code. And now if we just go ahead and play it now, you'll see that all the enemies place lines, because there's actually 2 address disable primary hard mode. And I can do, and since I'm using an emulator, I can do it any. So as you can see, I'm going into level 2, and everything should be normal for enemies. And right here, I also have a RAM watch, so you can see me changing the values. The S is now. I just think it's a neat way to enable a. So, for some reason, I can't seem to figure out why it's not replacing these piranha. That's like a bug in the. I might be just overlooking. It does seem to be replacing. In fact, it got rid of the lists and stuff. So, this just noticed only actually, I think the reason piranha plants were dealing with different objects, and that's just a demonstration of that code. I'm going to do one more enemy just to show you again. So, let's see. Heck, if you wanted to, you could even replace it with nothing. So I'll just do that. So if you put as a enemy ID, if you put that to 13, you'll get nothing according to this data crystal. Let me just disable that code and enable this one. And oh dear, we get an interesting effect. Just an example. Oh, you'll see enemies here. And the game crashed. Lovely. Let me try one more thing, just to show you another demonstration of a random object. So on here, there's a bunch of objects that crash and don't. Like, for example, if you want to spawn a warp zone, you can't do that because it will crash the game, or even fireworks. So I'll just showcase one last object. Let's do a fire bar, and in this case I want to look at the long fire bar, which is 1F. Go ahead and add that. Went ahead and added all these codes to the list. I mean, it's pretty cool how this works. So let's go ahead, restart because the game crashed, and I'll just show you. So now let's do that, and now you the demonstration of this code I created. I didn't really want to make a full-on just a silent video or something without like explanations because I think it'd be kind of confusing. But this is just a simple demonstration of what I created here. So let me just go ahead and delete these. And that's really it, what I have to show you for this code. And oh dear, it's okay. I have the RAM address here. So 076A, and then we just do 1. And yeah, the game crashed because I didn't have it. So just re-add that. Yeah. So that's actually the that's actually the primary hard mode, by the way. So that's a RAM address, and as you can see, the game should work fine. So